ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. So today's topic, of course, you know why this particular topic, because generally in our congregations all over North America and some other parts also in the world, most of the people are Indians, and Indians have a natural belief in God, in spiritual values, in the scriptures. But I had been thinking how to introduce the Vedantic principles to, suppose some people are there who don't believe in God, who have never heard of the Vedas. Like in our young age, we also used to feel that all this religion, spirituality, they all only belong to temples, ancient texts, etc., etc. But if suppose someone wants to have an idea through a logical analysis, then how to show that these, what we are discussing in Vedanta, they are also they can also be found to be true in a logical way. So this is a attempt to do that. So we will see that the doorway to spiritual life, spiritual search, does not begin with belief. It is not necessary that you have to believe in some creeds, etc. I cannot see the people at the back. You sit there. Yeah. So, spiritual search begins with just being human. Now we will see how. So, we won't take the help of any scripture, just I will quote by the way, or any philosophy. I have given you enough headaches already. So we will just reflect, even without philosophy, how our inclinations, our basic urges lead us to a spiritual path. Then the question will come, why doesn't it lead everyone? Because we never examine. We are living blindly. Doing today and thinking about tomorrow, doing tomorrow thinking about day after tomorrow, but we don't think what we are doing today. So that is our condition. So we will reflect without the help of any philosophy that what is it that is making us do what we are doing. And what will we see? We will see that every one of us is moved, all our actions, mental, physical, by three deep universal forces. Universal. They are universal to each and every human being. There is no exception. There are three silent inspirations that guide our entire existence. But they are so natural and so constant that we rarely stop to see their significance. But yet, they form the very foundation of our spiritual quest. For example, we all know that a child, as soon as it is born, starts expressing its wants. He or she starts searching for something. It is not satisfied, whatever else he may be. He feels that he needs something for fulfillment. That is the first thing. He wants this, he wants that. Second, after maybe 1 or 2 years, he also finds that he cannot do anything he likes. He is told soon, no, this is not good, this is not proper. So, a human being feels consciously or unconsciously, even from childhood, that he has some limitations. He is not what he actually wants to be. This means the moment a human being becomes self aware, as soon as the baby realizes I am an entity, he also realizes that he has limitations. The animals eat, sleep, and die without reflecting on it. They do not question their condition. But a human being, self consciousness dawns, and with it comes a strange double feeling. I am, yet I am not what I want to be. There is something else which I want, which I am searching for. So, this gap between what is and what ought to be, that is the very source of a human being's unrest. It is this restlessness that distinguishes a human being from an animal. Animals don't have that. They are content to live as they are. So, this discontent pushes a human being towards all the good things, even all the bad things actually. There is no other motive power. So when it is good, he will advance towards philosophy, art, and right at the end towards spirituality. So as soon as a child begins to look around, that from that moment he learns that he is bound. And he starts learning the language of limitation. This is big, this is small, this is mine, this is my house, my parents, that is not mine. Don't take that. That is I, this is you. All these things are simply limitation. So his mind begins to draw boundaries. I want this, but I don't want that. This gives me happiness, that gives me pain. So this desire and aversion, attachment and fear slowly start to be felt. But at the same time, the child also feels there is something in him which wants to fly beyond, where the body cannot follow. But yet, all of us find that we are chained down by some limitation, whatever it may be, but that we will see. So, this is called the divine discontent. This desire should not be and cannot be extinguished. This longing for transcendence, something beyond. Beyond what? The body, the senses, the mind. All these three are finite. But the one in whom this discontent arises, he is actually infinite. He lives in the mind and body, but he is not actually the mind and body. That, whatever it may be, wants to go beyond, as it were beyond the clouds. That's why all this space journey and all, man wants to expand, there is no limit. But it finds there is a limit to his going out in that way. So the thing is, despite every kind of chain, there remains and will remain in the human being something which refuses to be confined. It dreams of freedom, of beauty, of love, and it does not want them to end. It does not want limitation. Happy today, happy tomorrow, no. Happy always, through infinite period of time. So why does this happen? That it happens cannot be denied. But why does this happen? We rarely have time to examine. We never think what we are doing. So if we see that all, then we will find these basic urge in every one of us. And we will also find that this is behind all our actions. mental, physical, any action. So why is this happening? Why is it that every human being wants to go beyond, wants something much higher, is not satisfied? There must be a reason. So now we will again go deeper, and this basic urge we will dissect. So this basic urge for transcendence is actually made up of three universal urges. First is the desire to live, the yearning for continued existence. Every creature, however small, clings to life. Even when someone we find that he says, "Oh, I wish to die," actually he doesn't wish to die. He just wishes to get rid of suffering. If the suffering is gone, suppose if the mother-in-law is gone, then he doesn't want to die. Anyway, it's just a joke which is in India, it is very famous. So, beneath this impulse lies the intuition that life is meant to last. That something is there in us which should never perish. In our heart of hearts we feel that is not something which should happen. Something is wrong somewhere. This is the first thing, desire to live, desire to exist always. Second is the desire to know. From the child's innocent, what is this, what is that, to some great scientists, lifelong researches, laws of nature, universe, planets. There runs actually the same current. What? An unquenchable thirst for understanding. Most of us, as soon as we are developed, we don't want to live just blindly. Something it is which we want to know. We long to see, comprehend, to know what is true. Although in a very undeveloped man, this urge will not be great. He is more or less content. But even in him, the germ is there. Suppose you take him to a new place. He will say, "Oh, what a wonderful thing." Yeah. And the higher the man rises, this urge becomes stronger and stronger. Then he is not content to know only the things of the world. So this cannot be denied. This is there in every being. First will be the desire to live. The second will be the desire to know. What is the third? The desire to be happy. Desire to be happy. Whatever we do, earn money, love or fight, whatever we do, actually the end is only one: search for happiness. This happiness may have a different concept. Each one has a different concept. Sometimes somebody thinks if he has a lot of money, he'll be happy. Somebody thinks if he has a lot of fame, he'll be happy. That concept may differ. But there is no doubt that the basic urge is this. So these three, the longing for life, first for knowledge and for joy, are not learned from any book. But you need not teach a child all this. That develop these urges, my child. It already has this. They are common to all humanity, beyond religion, culture or philosophy. A man may be uncultured, no problem. He may not be at all religious, no problem. But these three are there in him. And when we look deeply into them, they reveal something astonishing. So, the three basic urges can be put in simple words: desire to live, desire to know everything, desire to live forever, desire to know everything, and desire to be happy without even a trace of misery. So, what does a human being do then? Average human being, what will he do? He starts searching. He starts searching where? In the external world. He will think that this makes me happy, getting so much money will make me happy, having a family will make me happy, celebrating my great grandson's birthday will make me very happy, and I'll tell everybody, the whole world, about the birth of my grandson. That's what people do. So he starts doing all this. But all of us soon find that we meet obstacles at every step. We are, we are meeting with obstacles, but we are hoping against hope. So, all discerning human beings will find that their whole life, if they search for this thing outside, their whole life will be a contradiction. Swami Vivekananda says, first we deal with the quest for eternal life. But what we see actually outside is completely different. What do we see? There is death everywhere. The whole world is going towards death. Everything dies. Swamiji says, all our progress, our vanities, our reforms, our luxuries, our wealth, our knowledge have that one end, death. That is all that is certain. Cities come and go, empires rise and fall, planets break into pieces to be blown out by the atmosphere of other planets. And thus it has been going on from time without beginning. Death is the end of life, of beauty, of wealth, of power. Kings die, beggars die. They are all going towards death. Yet, still, contradiction is where? Still, everybody, tremendous clinging to life exists in every human being. So this is the contradiction. Death everywhere, still clinging to life. So, now we go to the second point. Contradiction in knowledge. A human being thinks he can know everything. But as soon as he goes a few steps, he finds a wall which he cannot pass. The problems which are nearest and dearest to him are calling. What are the nearest problems? What is life? Why am I suffering? Why is one person good? Why is another person bad? But he cannot solve them. Why? Because the instrument which he has to solve them, the intellect, that is limited. He cannot go beyond his intellect. He is bound. So man's boundless curiosity is there, but he also sees his finite capacity. We feel we can know everything, stars, atom, emotions. But when we try to fulfill this quest for knowledge through sense perception, we find there is an obstacle. That barrier. Barrier is the limit of subject-object cognition. The knower and the know, both are bound. I am the knower, my mind is the knower, and all these objects are known, but both are bound. So he wants to know everything, but he cannot know. He wants to live infinitely, he cannot live. And the third, of course, basic urge for happiness. So every child thinks he will get everything, golden dreams. In youth, he still becomes optimistic. It is hard for a young man to believe there is such a thing as death, degradation, misery. He thinks all these things happen to others, never to me. But old age comes, and however much you may dye your white hair black, it is no use. It will come, and dreams will vanish. Swamiji says, the whole life then is like a mass of ruins. We search so much, whole life we toiled. In the end, what remains? Absolutely nothing. So the youthful man of today is the veteran of tomorrow. And he ultimately finds that what he has been searching for, unmixed happiness, cannot be had. It is impossible. Nobody has had it. So, all discerning men, when they reach a certain degree of development, they find that human life is lived under a great illusion. What is the illusion? That this world, solid, which seems solid, it seems dependable, it seems permanent. He builds empires, relations, reputations, identities, as they will last forever. But the end, what is called death, is one fact that no philosophy, no science, no religion can evade. It stands at the heart of existence, as the final truth. So this is what all of us will find today or tomorrow. And happiness or misery. Happiness means what? Happiness in our definition, happiness means only one thing: sense pleasure. That is all. What we see through our eyes, what we smell through our nose, what we taste through our tongue, that is all happiness we know. But all enjoyments of which the human mind is capable are within this network. They are within this limitation. They cannot go outside. This network, as we have seen earlier, is called in Vedanta Maya. The web of relativity, the circle of limited knowledge, limited experience. All sense organs, even the mind, the intellect, operate within this limited field, what is called the field of duality. Duality means pleasure, pain will be there. If there is birth, death will be there. If there is hope, there will be despair. So we can go anywhere, do anything. We will be within this. Some days are there we will feel, great. Great thing is happening. Band, baja, all these things are happening. Parties are there. They last only for a few minutes. So actually it has been compared to like a man running in a cage. He imagines he is going somewhere. Actually he is going nowhere. Nothing is actually happening. He is getting the same things which he has got earlier. Yet, every time he thinks, something new will happen. From where will the new thing come? It cannot come. So the thing is, these three urges are inborn. But when we try to satisfy them, we find them impossible. That is the greatest tragedy. We can do what we are doing now through infinite time. But when we struggle to get a little happiness, a mass of misery will also come with that. You cannot avoid. So this is called infinite running. Every pleasure, every achievement, every rebirth also seems to promise fulfillment, but soon collapses, leading to another search, another chase, what we call, rat race. Like running on a wheel, making great progress, you are making great effort, but if you are running on a wheel, you are where you are. That's all. Like we do treadmill, no? Treadmill, you are not going anywhere. Because when you are moving forward, there is also a backward movement. So life is like that. All joys are fleeting. Nothing remains here. Desire promises satisfaction, but actually what it gives is slavery. And even when we get what we want, it will not last. It can go any time, any person. Our happiness is based on objects and persons. That is all. There is no third thing in the world. Objects can vanish any time. One earthquake can destroy a city. And a person can die anytime. He can go anytime. Still, we are living as if we are in a very safe place. At least 500 years planning is there. So Sri Ramakrishna used to say, if I had known that the world is true, I would have covered Kamarpukur with gold. And he could have done that also. But I know nothing will stay. So why unnecessarily waste my time and effort? Give our time to something which will stay, is it not? So one devotee disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Rupa Goswami, he lived in Vrindavan. His brother served as a minister in the court of Nawab of Bengal. So his brother was deeply immersed in worldly things. So Rupa Goswami wanted well for his brother. So he wrote him a small verse, and his brother was also actually a very great soul. So just one small verse led to awakening. He just wrote, reflect, where are the grand cities of Ayodhya and Dwarka? Ayodhya I mentioned because that is Sri Ram's birthplace, and Dwarka because related to Krishna. Therefore, know with certainty, in this world nothing is eternal except God. So his brother was also very great. So just by reading, his vision opened. He renounced everything. He also came to Vrindavan, and then they were known as Rup Sanatan, Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. They are very great saints. So that is why Socrates says the unexamined life is not worth anything. Unexamined life is just somehow living, that's all. Somehow existing, it is not living also. No. So when we see this truth, when we are faced with this truth, one day everyone will be faced. You cannot run forever. So when we are faced with this and we really feel, when we start feeling this, now we are just listening, but it is not going to the heart. But when we start realizing, it may produce two reactions. In most of the people, it will lead to despair. It will lead to depression. So once we are having an online, when I was in Edmonton, we are having an online about Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. So one person I could see is becoming very uncomfortable. He said, but this is so depressing. Depressing or not, this is the truth. You have to face it today or tomorrow or day after. How long will you, just because you hide something, will it cease to exist? No. So that will be the first reaction in most of us. But there may be some people in whom discrimination will arise. They will start thinking that God cannot be so cruel as to give us these urges, but give us no means to satisfy them. Then there is no sense in living at all. So that awakening, that will be the critical moment in our life. Then we will start thinking seriously, begin searching seriously. Most of us, as we said, there may be despair. And they will think then what to do? Can we never find fulfillment? Then Swami Vivekananda wonderfully expresses that feeling. Is man then a tiny boat in a tempest? Raise one moment on a great wave, then again dash down, to and fro at the mercy of nature, a powerless, helpless wreck in an ever raging, ever rushing, uncompromising current of cause and effect. The heart sinks at the idea. So is there no hope? Is there no escape? Go on searching, never finding. That we are all miserable. That this world is a prison. Even our minds and intellects are prisons. This has been known through ages and ages. And no one is there who has not felt it sometime. Some calamity comes. Someone goes away. Someone becomes terribly ill. someone dies, some friend, some relative, we all feel. But we don't want to stress on that. Again, we start in our mad journey. So, what is the way out then? When these urges are there in every man, and saints and sages say that yes, life need not be a failure, then the question arises, then what is the way out? So here you see we are just basing our analysis upon the urges. We are not quoting anybody. So why are these urges innate in us if we cannot satisfy them? Then that is the question. Is there no way out from this ever searching and never finding? The answer is, of course, there is a way out. Saints and scriptures have only one aim, to tell us the way out. And they tell us why these three desires are inborn in us. They give the answer. First answer, why don't we want to die? They say, because your true nature is to live eternally, to become one with existence itself. Consciously or unconsciously, you are trying to reclaim your own being, which you have lost. Every creature is doing that, from smallest insect to the most learned philosopher. Answer is, we are searching for eternal life because deep down we are immortal. And the longing for this continued existence outside in a body is distorted reflection. Urge is okay, but we have given it a wrong direction. That is why we are puzzled. We don't know what lies at the basis of this urge. So we are misinterpreting it. That is the problem. So struggle to live, this thirst for being is not bad. Why? Because it is nothing but the eternal assertion of the real self within. So clinging to life is not weakness, but it is pointing to a hidden truth. We cling to life because actually we are life itself, we are existence itself. But problem is we are misdirecting this eternity to the body. So we think when the body dies, we will die. That is the problem. Problem is not the instinct, problem is how we have understood that. Second is, why are we never satisfied with the knowledge we have? Why do we always desire to know more and more? This desire also arises from our own nature. The desire for infinite knowledge indicates that infinite knowledge is already our nature. Then why are we not gaining it? Because it is veiled, it is covered. When you read the evolution and all these theories of evolution, they say that if there was no water in the world, no one would feel thirsty. Thirst indicates the presence of water. That is the thing. Hunger implies the existence of food. So our unending quest for knowledge implies that our essence is knowledge, chit, what is called chit, absolute knowledge. Our true nature is consciousness itself. We cannot be this body because body is what is called jada. It has no consciousness. Something unconscious cannot know anything. This table cannot know the chair because both are unconscious. So if we were the body, then we could never know anything. But we know. This means we are of the nature of consciousness itself. So following the same reasoning to the third point also, why do we always remain to wish happy, to remain blissful? We don't want sorrow. All pains and suffering. This is also the same reason, because our nature is supreme bliss. Our essence is of the nature of joy. We are always searching for that. Every action, consciously, unconsciously, is for that only one thing. Sukha Prapti, it is called. Gaining that happiness. Because the desire for happiness, for knowledge, for existence is universal and instinctive. No one teaches us that. It doesn't need to be taught. And this spontaneous longing for these three is not accidental. It is revealing our nature if we want to see, if only we have time to see. So all these are there in Upanishads. Raso Vaisa Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad say. Rasa means here bliss. That is bliss itself. And attaining that, one can become truly happy. So for all these three urges, the reason is the same. For urging, feeling that I am not what I want to be, the reason is the same. We experience limitation, but we aspire for the infinite. We feel weak, but we long to be the strongest. We are immortal, but we dream of immortality. The reason is the same. So, this restlessness is not to be stamped down upon, not to be extinguished. This restlessness has to be increased. But the true direction has to be given. The longing has to be direct towards something which actually will give us fulfillment. Now it is directed towards something which will only lead to all kinds of problems. So this is what our saints tell us. This is the answer to these questions. Why do these longings exist? So Swami Vivekananda again and again he says, something is there in us which wants to fly beyond. And the saints and sages say, because your nature is beyond limitation. So your nature is what? Absolute existence. It is called Sat. Absolute knowledge. Absolute word is important. Otherwise everything is knowledge. This also exists. But this is not absolute existence, because its existence is dependent on name and form. So absolute is important. Absolute existence, absolute knowledge. And happiness also, absolute happiness. That happiness is not happiness which is dependent upon something. My happiness is dependent upon ice cream. If I don't get ice cream, I'll be miserable. My happiness is dependent upon this person, that person. If they are not there, I will be sad. I will be miserable. I will be completely destroyed. So this is just dependence. It is not happiness. So now the question comes, if this reality is so close, the saints are telling it is so close. Not only it is a part of your being, they are saying you are that. Then why don't we immediately find it? The reason is we have lost it. And we are looking for it at the wrong place. So that story which we have seen again and again, I mentioned it before also. A man was going, he saw a person searching. There were two sidewalks. One was in darkness, one was lighted. So on the dark side, he saw a man searching. He said, what are you searching for? He said, I lost a ring. Did you lose it this side or that side? He said, I lost it that side, which is lighted. So if you lost it there, why are you looking for it here? Because here, it is all there, where I lost it, that was dark. So that is all darkness. But this side is lighted. So I'm looking for the ring here, although I had lost it on the other side. Because it is easy. But just because it is easy, you won't find it there because it was never there. So you want something easy. But there is no way of getting that thing because it is not there. So here also, where we are trying to search for it, it is not there. How does Upanishads and scriptures describe this reality? They describe this as the innermost essence. What is called in Sanskrit Antaratma. Antar. All the pictures of saints and sages you see, if they depict somebody in samadhi or something, whatever, you will see their eyes closed. Why? This shows that there is something inside them. So what is inside cannot be found outside. Outside is only dull, dead matter. We can search for that in all the worlds. Our scriptures mention three lokas: Patal Loka, netherworld, this Loka, Prithvi Loka, and heaven also they mention. So you can go anywhere. But it will all be within this network. What is called in Sanskrit Dvandva. Dvandva means pairs of opposite. Pairs of opposite. They are pair. They cannot be separated. It is impossible. So we have to remember the word absolute. Absolute means it is unrelated to anything. But this is called in our world, this existence is called what? Relative existence. What does relative mean? One is absolute, one is relative. Relative means dependent on something. Or relations are also called relatives for this very reason. We are dependent on them, they are dependent on us. So relative here means what? One quality and its opposite cannot be separated. They exist only when both of them will exist. Without the other one, the next one has no meaning at all. So suppose you say I am healthy. Okay, if there was no sickness, I am healthy would have no meaning at all. I am healthy implies I don't have sickness. I feel hot means I don't feel cold. You cannot have only one. Two teams are competing. One has won. So if other did not lose, how could one of them win? So without the term lose, the term win has no meaning at all. It would not have been there. This is called relative. And these can never be separated. Good means not bad. Bad means not good. This means what? They are not separate. There is nothing in the world which is only good. It can never be bad. Fire can be good when you are cooking. Fire can be bad when it burns your home. So, very same phenomenon which is appearing good now may appear to be bad tomorrow. One person you like very much, you think he is your friend, tomorrow he does something against you, immediately that person becomes enemy. That we are seeing every time. You read the newspaper, especially in politics, this is happening every day. Great friend, great ally, and immediately he is telling against him, he is telling him. And it's a absolutely horrible world. So, from this we see that the very term relative existence tells us that absolute existence, absolute knowledge, absolute happiness can never be found here. What we are searching for can never be found. The absolute or the infinite can become the universe only when it is limited. Everything which we see through the senses, through the mind, through the intellect is limited. So it is not possible for the unlimited to become the limited. It is simply not possible. Sri Ramakrishna says in very simple words, if a vessel can contain only 2 liters, can you put 4 liters in that? It is not possible. See, these great truths are said in such simple words by. So here also, we may live like we are living. We may do the same thing again and again. Nobody is stopping us. But Vedanta says there will become a time when we will awaken. Now we are sleeping. Then we will find that we are trying to do what is impossible, what no one has done. And then we will stop this nonsense. We will stop what we are doing now. And look for it, what we are searching for, look for it in the right place. And what is that looking? That looking is in the scriptures, it is said, drawing oneself away from everything that is limited. Giving up what is limited. And that is, in Sanskrit is called Vairagya. We all think, oh, giving up, so terrible. Why do these fellows always talking of giving up? Can't they talk of something good? But this is the best thing which can be said. This is the most optimistic thing which can be told. Every day we are practicing this on a lower level. You go on searching for a bank. So what do? That which will give you higher interest. You choose that bank. So is it pessimistic? It's not pessimistic. It's optimistic. You search for and aim for greater things. Don't be satisfied with lesser things. And that is what we are doing. Today we have a small apartment. Tomorrow you want a bigger house. Then next day you want a palace. So what is bad in that? Here also the same thing is being said. Far from being pessimistic, we are going what we had just chanted today. Every day we do. What? We are going from asat to sat. From what is false to truth. We are going from tamas, darkness, to light. And we are going from death to immortality. Then why does the term renunciation always brings a reaction? Because we are small children, that is why. Small child doesn't want to grow up. The toys, that is all he understands. So we all also understand only these toys, all the things which the world is giving us. Because we cannot see anything bigger, we think, oh, no, don't talk about renunciation. That is the problem. But actually, that is the only way also, and it is the most optimistic thing which is being said. And every day we are practicing it on another level. Because we understand money very well. So we are always on the lookout for that. We understand our reputation very well. So always we are trying to create a very good reputation. People will think so highly in the society. Drive up in a big car. Like that. So because we don't understand anything higher, that's why the concept of renunciation does not appeal to us right now. But one day we will find that yes, that is the only thing which is of any value, which is the only way to get what we have been seeking through time immemorial. This is the thing. So our goal is absolute and infinite, pure being. With the scriptures say, it is beyond name and form. Form cannot be eternal. This form cannot be eternal. One day it will go. So it is beyond form, beyond name, beyond even thought, beyond even description, because we can describe only which is grasped by the mind. That the Upanishads say, we will tell you about that. What is that? Ekam Advitiyam Brahma. There is nothing like it. There is nothing beyond that. There is nothing but that. Advitiyam. They call it Brahma. Brahma here means the root from which the word is derived. In Sanskrit, the root gives the indication of the meaning. So here the root from which the word is described means ever expanding. There is no stoppage. They say no, our galaxy is ever expanding. So here also, ever expanding means what? There is no limit to that. So when we find that this cannot be done in this way, we'll be saved. Why are we miserable? Why are we frustrated? Why are we depressed? This is the reason. You try for something, but it cannot be done. You think you live 100, 500 or eternity with your same family, same children, same relatives, it is never going to be. So Upanishads say, you examine all this. Don't take our word for this. You go and examine. You will find what we are saying is true. So, having examined, one who has examined, he goes beyond, he searches beyond. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmano nirveda maya. These are very, very famous words. We will not go into detail like that. If we don't listen, it is we who will suffer. Nobody else will suffer. At the end, every human being's life, it is this. He doesn't want to face it. He may not say it, covering up. Today he may not face, tomorrow he will face. So, the seeker, after exploring all finite experiences, finally recognizes their limitation and turns towards his real home, real place. Real place is what? Why is not a hotel our real place? We know we are there only for 2 days. So why do we consider the world as a real place? Are we not here for 2 days only? Who is there who is there for time immemorial? But somehow our mind gets deluded. Nobody knows why. So the sum and substance is, all these three urges are telling us day and night only one thing. But this is not what you are supposed to be. And you also feel it. Your aim is much, much, much higher. And you don't have to go to European cruises or space satellite to find it. Because it is within you. That is your essence, your being's essence. Nobody is nearer to you than God. So, then when we realize this, actually feel it in our heart of hearts, we give up these things. Enough. We are fed up, tired of running, never reaching. And then we turn towards the infinite. Infinite we call our real self. We also call God, Ishvara, Brahma, you can call it anything you like. So to end, I will give the gist of what we have been discussing in Swami Vivekananda's words. He whom the sages have been seeking in all these places, we are seeking in all these places. Where is he? In our own hearts. The voice you heard was right. What was that voice? I want eternal life. I want infinite knowledge. I want to be happy always. So Swamiji says, the voice that you heard was right, says the Vedanta, but the direction you gave to the voice was wrong. So ventriloquism, they have a puppy in their hand. So actually we know he is speaking, but he seems the puppy is speaking. So here also, the voice is coming from here. We think it is outside. So the direction you gave to that voice is wrong. The ideal of freedom, he says, that you perceived was correct, but you projected it outside, and that was your mistake. Bring it nearer and nearer until you find that it was all the time within you. Upanishads call it self of the self. Our self is just mind and body, what we know as self. That's why they don't say self. Self of this apparent self. Then he says that freedom was your own nature. Nature never had any power over you. Only when we adopt this course, when we seek for it in the right places, he says, then we shall know that we are free. We were free and will be free. Then and then alone will difficulties vanish. Then will all the perplexities of the heart be smoothed away. All crookedness will be made straight. And this delusion, what we are experiencing now, of manifoldness, you are separate, I am separate, I should take from you and make myself happy, all this will go away. This trying to manifest the infinite in the finite, what is this so-called evolution, is vain. It cannot be done. So he says, you are the mighty cause of this universe, but you are trying to reflect yourself into little mud puddles. Give me this, give me that, like a beggar. But after making the attempt, you will find that it was all vain. Then you will go back to the place from where you came. And then he says, this is Vairagya. This is renunciation. And this is the beginning of religion. When this is begun only, we are searching for that in the right place. If this has not begun, we are still worldly people. Although we may give lectures, that is nothing. It is just mouth. Nowadays, of course, it is so easy. Everyone is giving Advaita Vedanta. Nobody stops anything short of Advaita Vedanta. That is, discussing anything is not, it's not considered enough. So, but that won't help. You can say anything you like. What you realize is important. So, this is the message. And we have approached this just by examining the three basic urges. We are searching for these things. It is proper. It is natural. It is instinctive. Can we get it? Yes. Because that is not separate from us. Why are we not getting it? We are looking for it at the wrong place. Look at the right place and it has to come to us. But that search should be there. That search only comes to the mind which has evolved to the highest level. So then why are we hearing about it? When we are reached that stage, we will know. Yes, I had heard. This is correct. This is what is happening. Then all this will make meaning. Now it is not really penetrating the heart. Then everything will become meaningful. Then more and more our life will go in the opposite direction, towards the true direction. And we have so many guides, all these saints and sages, they are the examples. That is why, having nothing, they had everything. We, having everything, we are still beggars. That is never going, I want this, I want this. If this is not beggarly, what is it? And we are so happy because we are satisfied with that only. That is the thing. So go higher. Our urges will lead us to go higher today or tomorrow. Either we can wait for the blows to come. Blows will come. Terrible blows will come. Either wait for that or discern, use your reason, and as early as possible, start the journey in the right direction. That is the thing. So let us end here. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.